Welcome to the Prattling Codgers podcast. I am the kid.
And I'm Dana Lee.
Dana Lee mentioned the Finger Lakes a couple episodes ago. He was talking about something with the Finger Lakes, and so I said I'm going to give him a Finger Lakes episode. So
yeah, not a bad idea.
It's all Finger Lakes, and I don't know that much about the Finger Lakes. Well, I'll tell you one thing I didn't know. I did not know that there was 11 Finger Lakes.
Right.
I thought there was 5. I don't know what rock I was sleeping under.
Of course, you'd be thinking Canandaigua, Keuka Lake, then Seneca, Cayuga. What was it? Canandaigua. What did I say? Jesus. How dumb of me here. Canandaigua, Keuka, Seneca, Cayuga, Owasco.
Yep, that's one of them.
Owasco. So there's 5, but yeah, there's 6. There's 6 more.
Yeah, and Skinny Atlas, Canisius.
Yeah, Canisius Lake. Oh my God, can't believe
Otisco, or I guess that's how you say it. Otisco.
Yeah, Otisco.
Hemlock.
Right.
Honeoye.
Honeoye Lake. Good God Almighty, these lakes aren't that I know. God.
And Canadice, if that's how you pronounce it.
Right, Canadice. Yeah.
Now, I've heard of some of these lakes, like Skinny Atlas and Owasco and Honeoye. A couple of them I've never heard of, but I didn't realize that there were Finger Lakes.
Yeah.
I thought there was just 5 Finger Lakes. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah. The last I read up on it, it was 11. Yeah. But there was a time when we would study it in school, like back in the 60s and beginning of the 70s when I was in school. We just talked about the 5 that we mentioned.
Well, I mean, they were the closest to us.
They were the closest, and so
some of them you go west,
mm-hmm.
and they're really like the smallest lake is Canadice. It's 3 miles long.
Yeah,
it's 1 square mile of lake. I mean, that's essentially a pond.
So
649 acres.
It's crazy.
And it's 95 feet deep. That is the smallest of the Finger Lakes.
What's interesting is these lakes we know how they formed. The ice flows that had come down from the North Pole across Canada, covered up millions of years ago.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much, I forget what period it was. Something I couldn't pronounce.
I think it was the Codgers period, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably. Something like that. Prattling Codgers.
Yeah. But the deal is how deep the lakes are. So I think that's got a lot to do with how they were definitely formed when the ice was flowing back north. It was digging in. It's the same at
I mean, that's how pretty much everything happened. Jesus. The big fucking crack out west.
Right.
I mean, that's from erosion.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, you speak of how deep they are. Seneca Lake is 618 feet deep.
Right.
Cayuga is 435 feet deep. Seneca's the deepest lake. Both of those 2 lakes, the bottoms of those lakes are below sea level.
They're below sea level. That's cool. That's cool. And so Canandaigua is, last I knew, it was like 340 maybe, 340 feet.
276
for Canandaigua.
That's what my research told me.
All right. Interesting.
Keuka's
But
only 183 feet deep.
right. Yeah, it would seem that Canandaigua wouldn't be as deep as well. There was a Seneca and the other long
Seneca and Cayuga are the deepest.
Right.
The next deepest after Cayuga is Skinny Atlas Lake at 300 feet.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Everything else is far less than that. Honeoye Lake's only 30 feet deep.
That's crazy. How I can't imagine that was formed the same way as the others, because otherwise it would have been. I mean, they were like plows.
Yeah, but I mean, there were different size plows.
Yeah, I mean, the ice flows were so thick, they were so mammoth. But the further north they went, the more they melted, and that melting was flowing into the trenches that it cut, and so that's how the lakes were formed. And the further north it went, like Kershaw Park on Canandaigua Lake.
Yeah,
you can go out. I think you can go out about. You can go south on the lake. So the north end ends right there at Kershaw Park. I think you can go maybe not quite 4 miles, and it still won't be over your head.
Yeah.
But then, because that just shows how the ice flows worked. The ice flows were melting. They were getting they had less weight. They weren't digging into the ground as they were being pushed north, and so it became much more shallow during that period. And these, I don't know how long it took those ice flows to move like 100 yards. For all I know, it could have taken 2,000 years.
2 days.
2 days, right? Yeah, whatever it felt like.
Yeah, no, you're talking thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, and so.
But I mean, they're all different depths because the bottom of the ice that was digging in was probably all jagged and different shapes.
Oh yeah.
God,
and that had to be just like steel. Can you imagine pushing all that weight, pushing all that stuff? Oh my God.
What I found interesting is because I spent some time on Juanita Lake, so did Mom. Juanita and Lamoka Lake, and I'm like, why aren't they Finger Lakes?
And those two are connected, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a canal that connects them.
Oh, is that a man-made canal or
I'm not. You could ask Mom that because I think she's gone through the canal. I never did that, but
right.
It's not like super long. I think it's only like 800 feet or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they said, but
okay.
The reason they're not Finger Lakes is because they drain south into the Cohocton River.
Oh, so all
the Finger Lakes drain north, towards Lake Ontario.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
I was like, all right, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, the water's got to go past Naples, New York, before it enters Canandaigua Lake.
Yeah. And, of course, Keuka Lake's a Y.
Oh, yeah, the letter Y, yeah. A ragged,
ragged
looking Y.
Huge peninsula, or whatever you want to call it, at the one end.
Mm-hmm.
And so that actually flows. I mean, it drains north, but or runs north, but it actually, I think because of the Y, the currents actually run different sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
But for some reason, I always thought Canandaigua Lake was bigger than Keuka, but it's not.
Right.
Keuka's the third largest, and Canandaigua's the fourth largest.
Yes, that's right.
But even though I grew up near Canandaigua Lake and Keuka Lake and Seneca Lake,
and Seneca,
we didn't have lakefront property or anything like that, so I didn't spend it. I used to spend a lot of time down at Kershaw Park.
Sure.
when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and Champlain Beach is kind of like the Kershaw Park of Keuka Lake, at least on that end, the Hammondsport end.
Right. Yeah, that's nice down there.
So I used to go there sometimes, but I never spent a lot of time out on the lake in boats or in lake houses. You know, I've been to a few parties at lake houses and stuff like that, and some restaurants that are on the lake, but never really, you know, the lake was there, but didn't go there a lot just because it just, you know, didn't have a boat. And you know, I'm not much of a lake swimmer anyways. I'm not much of a swimmer period, but you know, not knowing what's underneath me, I'm not a real big fan of that. So not that I haven't been in the lakes. But yeah, I just, like I said, so I don't have a lot of like stories about Canandaigua Lake.
Right.
Just because or Keuka Lake or Seneca Lake, just because I didn't spend a ton of time on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
at
the lakes. You know, I mean, not too interesting. Yeah, I went to Kershaw Park and went swimming. You know, that's about all I can say about it.
Right.
You know, been on a boat a few times on Canandaigua Lake, but
yeah.
You spent a lot. You grew up in that area, so.
Yeah, I mean, we were in East Rochester, so I was born in a hospital in Rochester, and East Rochester was a suburb. Fairport's next to it. Pittsford, the town of Pittsford, is next to ER.
Pittsburgh's nowhere close to Rochester.
Pittsford. Pittsford.
Well, one of these smaller lakes, and I can't remember which one it is, actually is a reservoir for Rochester.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Because some of these smaller lakes...
Is it Honey?
I can't remember. I was running out of space to write stuff down, so...
Because I think that would be the closest one to Rochester.
It might be. So some of these smaller lakes are actually more like reservoirs.
Right.
So they're, you know, only certain type of boats, and you know, there's a couple of them that you're not even allowed to swim in.
Right.
You know, I think you can fish in them and stuff like that, but you know, they're actually water reservoirs.
Yeah, you're supposed to
towns and stuff. So
yeah, you got to stay out of the water.
But yeah, I don't know if you know about this or not. There's only 2 islands on any of these lakes.
Oh, Canandaigua's got one.
Yep.
And what's the other one? Shit, I can see it. Is it Keuka?
Nope. It's one of the bigger ones.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. I've only seen Seneca. I've only driven across along Seneca. Cayuga is not a.
Yeah, I'm not real familiar with Cayuga Lake, but Cayuga is the other one with an island. It's
okay.
Frontenac Island.
Oh, is that what they call it? That sounds like a French word.
If that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. And then of course Canandaigua's got Squaw Island.
But it's not called Squaw Island anymore.
Oh, when did that change?
2021. Because squaw is kind of not a good.
Oh, the word squaw.
So, yeah, it's you know,
it's derogatory. I didn't know that.
They're saying it's derogatory, and that the Native Americans aren't even using it.
Yeah. Okay.
So they renamed it Skano Island.
Okay.
In 2021.
That sounds like an Indian word.
Yeah, and that's the thing. All these lakes it was all Indian or Native American, you know.
Yeah.
That's why their names are not as easy for me to pronounce, or if I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing them correctly or not. But yeah. Skano Island, which is a tiny little island, I'm sure it was bigger a long time ago.
Sure. Yeah.
But the Frontenac Island, I don't think that you can even go out there. It's more like a conservation island.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you're allowed to even go there.
Right.
Now, Skinnell Island, you can, but it's just a couple of months out of the year. I guess.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how shallow it is. I've walked from the pier to Skinnell Island.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, because it's a sandbar all the way out to the island. I mean, it gets a little deep, or it used to, anyways. It got a little bit deep, but not over my head.
I got.
I mean, you're out in the middle of the lake, and it's only up to your knees.
Sure. Yeah, because the north end again, the ice flows were a lot lighter, and they couldn't push that amount of earth in front of them, so they cut a swath that was shallow. But I only got out on what'd you call it, Skano or?
Yeah, if that's pronounced right, Skano.
Skano. I hopped out of a boat one time and stood next to it. I never. People used to go out and party on it and leave a mess, and
I think that all ended.
Yeah, I never did that. I never.
But yeah, like I said, there's only a couple months out of the year where people even are allowed out there.
Right.
And no parties, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's rare to have an island.
Skinnell Island. Only 2 of the 11 lakes have an island. Now I don't know how big that Frontenac Island is. I should have looked that up. I didn't look it up. I didn't want this just to be a 10th grade geography class. We're just going to inundate you with information. I was hoping maybe you had a couple stories or something from your days out on the lake.
Oh my gosh.
I had to save my lake stories for the top 5 because I've only got so many stories, so I had to save those for the top 5.
So what was that deal down at the south end of the lake? So when you're at the south end of Canandaigua Lake, you're not to Naples yet. You're in Woodville at that point.
So I didn't spend a lot of time down on that end of the lake.
Yeah, and it's all swamp, it's all reeds and everything, but there is whenever there's an opening through the reeds and it's caused by nature, they call it a river just for no other reason,
I think we went canoeing down there one time when I was a kid.
Yeah, more than likely we did.
A bunch of people, and we went and canoed.
Right. Yeah, because we had done that many times. That was a fun place because we would go in. We would actually get into where the trees were. We would follow it around way back in, and so it was like a full day event in a way.
Yeah.
And but that was cool. And they called it a river. They even named it. I don't remember what that was, but anyhow, yeah, that's it's all no matter what, it's all beautiful. It's just gorgeous. I just love that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous up there in the summer. I mean, it really is.
Oh my gosh!
And the big thing about all these lakes, there's wineries all over the place up there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's part of the geological. It just grapes go good there
in the worst soil.
And they have they've created their own microclimate. The lakes have.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it's just wine grapes do really well. And so, I mean, I'm not familiar with a lot of wineries. I mean, I know Bully Hill's on Keuka. That Bully Hill's kind of fairly famous winery.
Right, right.
But
you got Widmer in Naples. So Widmer wines.
I'm sure Watkins Glen's got one over there somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Off Seneca. Seneca's probably got several wineries around it.
Yeah, when you go around the lakes now, Yeah, you're gonna run into that. There are farmers that kind of converted over a lot of their property to vineyards, and so I think probably younger members of the family saw that coming on back in probably the late 70s. Figured they better jump in on, because a lot of people, they'll leave Rochester, they want to go for a ride, they come all the way down, they go through the Finger Lakes,
Yeah.
and or people from Buffalo or Syracuse, they drive over, and so those are the kind of places they like to stop
Oh
at.
yeah, it's very.
Yeah,
I mean, very touristy over
yeah, but
there.
Bully Hill is the one that did it the best. They took over from everybody else for a long time when they were first getting going. Because
Yeah, I mean, there used to be like a Taylor wine down there too. But
oh yeah, Taylor's been national. They were always making wine to wholesale it all the way across the country.
because we used to go down to they called it Taylor Park.
Yeah,
It was
right.
there wasn't a lot there, but we used to go play frisbee and
Mm-hmm.
in the summertime hang out, drink beer, and
Yeah,
raise hell, and not do anything stupid and get in trouble, but just go down there just to get out and
yeah.
throw the frisbees or play hacky sack. I'm dating myself with hacky sack.
Yeah, I remember going on vacations.
Dating myself with frisbee too, probably.
Yeah, you go on vacations, you go into a liquor store, and at some point it hits you. Oh, I wonder if these guys sell bottles of Taylor wine. And I would see it.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah. They marketed their stuff all over. So
now I lived on a lake in New York for about a year.
What was it called? I forgot.
Salubria Lake.
Yes,
basically
that's
a pond.
Right. A pond. Yeah, that's okay. It's water. Were there fish in it?
Yeah, I mean that's what people did because there was really no public access. I mean, there's houses all the way around it.
Yeah.
Or small houses, no like big fancy.
Yeah. Right.
No Lake Norman houses or anything like that. But
yeah,
obviously, or I wouldn't have been able to afford to live there.
Yeah.
But yeah, people go out and canoe or paddle boat or fish.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely fish in it, but I don't know the actual size because I didn't look up a whole lot about like Juanita and stuff like that because they're not Finger Lakes. But I thought it was interesting because I'm like, why isn't like Juanita a Finger Lake? Because it's right there in that area.
Yeah,
and it's because it flows south into the Cohocton River. So
yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
right.
meet the criteria for the Finger Lakes.
Yeah, the Cohocton River can be pretty long.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a little tidbit of information. Roseland Park at the north end of Canandaigua Lake.
I'm glad you brought that up because I keep forgetting to.
So maybe you're aware of this. They had some kind of marine animal on in the park. They had built an enclosure for it.
I don't remember that, but
I almost think it was a seal. I am pretty darn sure.
You know what? It was a polar bear.
No, it was not a polar bear. Absolutely. It was a seal. And it was there. They fed it. People love to go and take pictures of it. It was just it was a big draw. I understand. Yeah. And I understand why they did it. I mean, it was just fun. I mean, the thing they built the best enclosure for it. It had lots of shade, but if it could sun itself if it wanted to in one spot. And
yeah, I don't know if it was there ever when I was there, but
it got out.
Yeah.
It figured out how to get out of that enclosure into the lake.
Really?
2 years later, people were still seeing it.
Holy crap.
They were still seeing the thing.
Did they ever get it?
I don't think so. I don't think they ever got it. But I am absolutely sure that 2 years later they were still seeing the thing.
That's
It would
crazy.
just, yeah, I know it's nuts. But
I used to love going to Roseland Park. I mean, as a kid.
Yeah.
And, it was a small compared to like, your big Carowinds and
right.
Darien Lake up in New York.
Right.
But I mean, living right there, I mean, you could go down there on a Tuesday or something and ride a few rides and play some games. And I remember Mom taking us there just to the game place,
Yeah.
where they had the funny mirrors and the skee ball and all that. It was a blast going there and doing that stuff. Even though I didn't live in Canandaigua anymore, it broke my heart when they closed it. I was like, I can't believe they're closing it. I mean, it had one roller coaster, and it was an old wood roller coaster,
the Skyliner.
Yeah, and you know, it's people would eat that up now. Just a little tiny amusement park. I mean, it had a Ferris wheel, it had bumper cars, it had a haunted house.
Yep.
I can't remember what other rides it had. But
yeah, and then there was you could go up, you could go play Fascination. You roll the ball, and you get points. And then for the adults, after a certain time for the adults, the kids weren't allowed in then, but you could play Fascination for money. So they did that. I had a lot of friends that used to go. I
don't think I ever played Fascination, but I know you used to play it a lot.
Yeah. There was a row where on one end you could actually shoot 22 rifles. Remember that?
That's right. They had no, they weren't live rounds when I was going there.
Because I ran that whole strip. Yeah, I ran that whole strip.
When I was going there, I can't remember. I don't know if they even shot anything or if it was just like laser kind of like thing or.
Oh yeah.
However it worked,
but when I was running it, I was working there, but I was in high school still, and I think I was a junior and a senior, and they would shoot 22 shorts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that was the one on the end, and then over my shoulder to the right a little bit was the carousel where you could ride the horses that went up and down and
merry-go-round
or the merry-go-round, and the bumper cars were right over next to that. But going the other way, so the 22 rifles shooting range was on the end, and I cannot tell you how many times I had guys that I could not communicate with because they did not speak English, and they had been drinking, and they'd take the gun was connected by a chain, so they were on there real strong. People never tried to really yank them off or anything, but they would wave that gun around. It's got live rounds in it, and I'm like, I'd walk over, they're waving it around, I'd grab a hold of that gun. I'm like,
surprised nobody got shot.
I'm surprised I didn't get shot because I had to stop them.
Then they had the I forget what you call them. It was kind of like a chairlift.
Oh yeah,
went across part of the lake.
Yeah, they put that in.
I don't think I ever rode that.
I rode it. It was no big deal.
I mean, you basically went over towards Kershaw Park, and then it came back around.
It went right. It went right to the end of the property, and then there was the water would flow through a channel there, flowing north out of the lake, and then Kershaw would start on the other side of that. So Roseland and Kershaw were really close together.
Yeah.
But I ran the water guns where you squirt into the thing and it makes the horses go. It was like a horse race in front, and the way to get the horse to move was you'd shoot into a funnel type thing. Right, yeah. And then
I remember playing that game.
Yeah, there was that, and there was a bunch of those things. I ran all of that. But
I rode the Skyliner during a torrential downpour one time.
Did you really? Wow.
That's
crazy.
It was a blast.
Holy shit!
I mean, we were all soaking wet, but
oh god, yeah,
we were going up, and it busted
started,
open,
huh?
and then they just had to let it go, and
That's right. Oh my god,
it was a blast.
I remember when
Of
they
course, I
built
was
that.
13 or 14, so of course it was fun. Now I'd be like, Jesus, I got to walk around wet the rest of the day.
Oh my god, yeah. That chairlift thing, it sort of caught on for a while. After a while, I don't know. I
It's
never
just
really.
one of those, for the Codgers.
Take some
They don't want to ride
pictures
the
and
roller coaster or
right.
I forget the one that was inside the building, the scrambler thing.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
right.
lights would go off, and then they have all the
Yeah,
color lights going and stuff. That was always fun.
yeah, that's right.
I
The
think
thing
it was
about
called Scrambler.
the chairlift never had, like when you're on a ski lift, you lift your feet up, and your boots and the skis rest on that bar, so
Right.
it takes the weight off of your legs. They never had that on that chairlift ride.
No, I think
So
400 or 500 people over the years had fallen into the lake from up there.
400 or 500, yes. That's 400 or 500 lawsuits.
That's what I'm saying. That many people fell off that damn thing, and nobody got shot at a live ammunition shooting
Oh my
gallery.
god, it was insane. Oh my god! I every time it happened, I'm like, why am I running this? Why didn't I put in for the bumper cars or something?
Right.
Good Lord.
Well, hey, Danley, you want to take our leg stretcher and
Oh, okay.
come back?
All right. Just leave everything as it is.
Yep, we'll be back in just a few.
Okay.
All right, we're back from our leg stretch. Before we get into our top 5, is there any last Finger Lakes things you wanted to talk about other than the top 5?
No. Just that I miss it. It was a neat place to live, but it's also good in a lifetime to leave something like that behind and go check out the rest of the world a little bit.
Yeah.
The rest of the world. Yeah. I think I'll skip China, but yeah.
Yeah, I just got tired of the winters up there.
Yeah, that's it, really.
But all right, well, I guess we'll get into our top 5, and it's the top 5 coolest things we did on the Finger Lakes. Like I said, I didn't have the money in my pocket to do a whole lot on the lake, so I had to save my stories for the top 5. But Dan Lee, I'll let you start out with your number 5 coolest thing you did on the Finger Lakes.
Well, I wrote that the Finger Lakes can be great fun year round, but certainly summer rules. And learning to be safe handling a boat is the starting point. So at 14, I took boat safety courses and got my permit to operate without an adult present. And I thought, when my mom told me that, I was like, oh, sign me up today. Yeah. And so my parents let me do it. I was on top of the world. I mean, it was just incredible. And so it just opened up a whole new segment in my life.
Yeah.
The responsibility, but also the freedom to make a decision.
Good or bad.
It was good. Yeah. But it turned out to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a cool thing to do, is get your boat license.
Yeah.
As a teenager.
Yeah, there was quite a group of us that jumped on the chance. I mean, they actually told us about that in, what would that be, sixth grade. In sixth grade, I think I have the timing right. Maybe I'm a little screwed up. just before going into becoming a freshman.
Yeah, that would have been 8th grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you were 14 in 6th grade.
I don't know.
unless you did a couple grades a couple times.
That's 60 some years ago.
Oh, my number 5 coolest thing I did on the Finger Lakes, and this really shouldn't be. It's not a cool thing necessarily, but it's a story. It's something memorable from Cuca Lake. I remember,
okay.
and I'm not going to divulge any names.
Okay.
Couple former bandmates and I.
Yeah, I see.
Were out drinking some beers, and we ended up at Champlain Beach down there at the head of Cuca Lake.
Okay.
And just hanging out. We went and sat on the lifeguard chair. I mean, because it was closed. It was evening. It was summer, so it was still light out a little bit when we got there. But
right.
Just hanging out, drinking some beers, and shooting the shit and stuff like that. And I think we were getting ready to head out, and so I walked back over where the car was parked so I could take a leak behind a tree.
Yeah.
And a few minutes later, these guys come running back, all winded and stuff. And we were just getting ready to get in the car, and a cop showed up.
Okay.
And, these two dipshits, for some reason, knocked over the lifeguard chairs and, did a couple stupid things like that. Yeah, I don't know why. That's why I said it's not a cool thing, but it was something I remember from the lake, a story I remember from the lake. But
yeah,
I remember I guess they got arrested they didn't break anything. They just knocked over the big wooden chairs. But
wow.
But I don't know. I can't remember if one of them, because it was his car, they were gonna give him a DUI or whatever. I can't remember if we were in his car. Anyways, they were taking those two. The cop was taking those two, and I'm like, well,
yeah,
I need a ride. I mean, you can't just leave me here.
No.
He drove us back home. I can't remember if any of them got like arrested or anything. I didn't get arrested because I didn't do anything.
Yeah. What about the chairs? Were they broke up or something?
No, I don't think they broke them. And I think it was more. I think it was more that we were in his car when the cop pulled in, and we had been drinking. And I think he got in trouble for that. I don't even know if they knew about the chairs, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
They would have figured it out later, but
yeah.
He ended up giving me a ride back to Bath.
Yeah. Okay. Was that a quiet ride?
In the back seat. Yeah, somewhat.
Oh boy.
But like I said, it's not a cool thing, but something that happened to the lake that I remembered. One of those boys will be boys, I guess. I was never into like doing shit like that.
No, no, I wasn't either.
But they did for some reason, and but like I said, I think it was because we had been drinking. And we were in his car, and he saw the car there. Yeah. And we technically weren't supposed to be there that time of night. And then I think the driver got in some trouble.
Oh, okay.
And I think he drove out the other two of us back to Bath, and and then we had to go try to find bail money.
Oh gosh! Oh no! Yikes!
But yeah. I hated to put that one on because it's not really a cool thing, but
yeah.
But all right, Dan Lee, what do you got for number 4 coolest thing you did on the Finger Lakes?
Hang on a second. Let's see. Well, I was so wrapped up in getting my boat permit that I jumped in with both feet, and it just took over my world. And so with my boat driving responsibilities, I was determined to learn the lake where I could go safely and the places to avoid either at certain times of the week or avoid completely. And because in my mind, I'm thinking of all the things that I want to do, is especially they were good with me going water skiing because I hadn't learned to slalom. I mean, I could get up on two skis and I did that and all, but I really wanted to learn to slalom. I wanted to be jumping wakes and putting up a big spray and all that kind of stuff. And so that, man, I mean, that just took over my life. I was all in on that. And it was early. I mean, school, we hadn't got out for the summer yet.
Yeah.
So I was really pumped. I was really pumped on that. But yeah, I just read up everything I could because I was thinking about really getting to know Canandaigua Lake. I mean, I really wanted to know like depths of the water and stuff like that, where to stay away from. And so I read up on any flyers that I could find.
I'll tell you one thing: you stay away from that man-eating seal that was swimming around in there.
Yeah, for 2 years they couldn't catch it. Yeah, people took pictures of it.
How do you know for 2 years if they never caught it?
Well,
could still be there.
It was
those things live to be like 170.
Yes, this is true, and they can live through anything. Really, nuclear war. I mean, you name it. They're pretty hardy.
Yeah. My number 4 coolest thing I did on the Finger Lakes was I remember when Kevin and Sherry quit running Colonial Lawns.
Yeah.
And they brought in this other guy and his wife, and but I stayed on and worked, and he was a big bass fisherman.
Oh, okay.
Had a hot rod bass boat. You know, he's one of these guys that goes to the tournaments, and
sure,
these boats do like 80, 85 miles an hour so they can get out to their spots and stuff.
race out to the spot.
And one day he was
crazy,
wanting to just go out and run out, you know, on the lake and stuff. And he said, "Hey, you want to go take a boat ride?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
We got that thing, and I'm not a water guy, so.
Right.
But this is back when I had long hair and all that. He turned that boat up. We were doing like 80 miles an hour down the lake. I mean, that's a rough ride.
When you're
going
my
that
God.
Fast.
Wow.
He just said, grab your nuts, basically, because you're going to be bouncing. And, but I remember when we slowed down, my hair was sticking straight back.
Really?
Yeah.
that was a lot of hair. God almighty, your hair was so long.
But it was definitely cool to go that fast on a boat. I don't know if I'd want to do it again, but
yeah,
I was young enough.
I never went that fast. I went like somebody had some kind of special Chris Craft or something. I don't know what the hell it was, but we were doing, I don't know, they said the speedometer said like 50 or 55, and I was like, well, all I know is it was damn fast for a boat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're not like in a car. There's, you know, not in this bass boat anyways. There's no roof, no seat belt.
Yeah.
You're just hanging on.
Yeah, you feel everything. You smell everything. It's like you're getting wet a few times. It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
It was a rough ride, but it was fun.
Oh, sure.
You know, an experience to have anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What's your number 3 coolest thing you ever did on a Finger Lake?
Well, the coolest thing I did on the lake was learning to be a good water skier, and I also gained the skills of operating the boat. So the water skiers I was pulling had the best time. We had a short window of time in New York State on the lakes for summer fun, basically 4 months. That's what you get. You get halfway through May, June, July, August, and then you're basically you don't have time. You have the weekends after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just that I was just really focused. I was all in on just doing everything, the boat, being a good driver, being careful with other skiers. I took out people that I really knew could ski, and they were friends of mine, and they could really ski. And so I got tips from them, and the easy way to get up, on one ski if you were going to start that way, because
I
they would.
know nothing about water skiing.
Yeah, that was a big focus. It was just a fun thing to do, and I mean, our boat was okay. It wasn't the kind of boat that was going to pull like two skiers at one time,
Right.
with a great big motor. But yeah, it was one of those things that I was around the water a lot, and I just wanted to learn it. I'd be standing on shore watching everybody doing it. As a matter of fact, the people that my grandfather had a cottage on the west side of Canandaigua Lake, and right next door was their last name was Darling, and I don't remember the first names, but I knew them for two things. They were motorcycle racers, so they were racing dirt bikes, and they were also ski jump artists.
Yeah.
So they could, I mean, you ever see guys that are really good water skiers? They'll be on two skis, and then they'll take the ski rope and the handle, and they'll put it behind their back, and they'll at the same time they're doing that, they're spinning around. They spin around in a complete circle, and they're facing forward again.
Yeah.
Just doing all kinds of tricks, and they had a ramp. They had a regular huge ramp, and it was out just far enough in the cove that they were in. It was a real pretty cove on the lake, and they would practice out there. There would be times when they'd be practicing, and I would just sit down and watch them because they were just so awesome.
Yeah.
The boat would be pulling them around, coming in, and then they'll take the jump off the ramp, and they'll do like a 360, or they'll do like a forward somersault, and still never lose the grip of the rope.
Yeah.
I mean, they did all kinds of stuff. They were amazing.
Oh,
they would
see, if you would have tried that would have been a cool thing.
Yeah, especially on camera.
Oh.
It would have been one try, and I'd have 1 million views.
Yeah, my number 3 is trying to water ski.
Oh, no kidding.
On Seneca Lake.
Oh, yeah.
We were at Michelle's parents' place.
Oh, no kidding.
And took the boat out, and it was all the girls were in the boat.
Oh, really?
They were trying to get me going. I was already had the heebie-jeebies because I'm floating in the water, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm not big on not knowing what's underneath me, but
yeah.
We were not super far from shore, and I remember they went to start going, and I'm holding on to the freaking rope, and the water's like chest high.
Oh no!
And the boat wasn't going fast enough to pull me out, and they were all hollering, "You got seaweed in the prop! You got seaweed in the prop!" But they didn't hear it, and they couldn't believe that I held on chest deep with the skis under the water and didn't let go of the rope. I was like, yeah, because did you see that fucking shark behind me? I wasn't letting go of that goddamn rope.
Shit.
But I never got up on the skis because they didn't. So we had to take the boat back in. But of course they had to come back and get me, and I'm just floating because I had to let go of the rope at that point.
Right.
Well, I never got in a boat faster than
Oh my
I had
God!
that
Yeah.
ski off and was climbing over to the friggin' edge of that boat quicker than shit. I did not like floating around out there in the middle of the lake by myself, but it
Yeah.
was still pretty cool. I wish I would have got up because
Yeah.
they were surprised. They were like, "We can't believe it!" Like if they didn't have seaweed in the prop, you either would have went face plant
Oh yeah.
or you would have got right up on the skis and been skiing.
Yeah. They would have pulled you out so quick that you could absolutely go forward and go back
Right.
into the water again.
But I was in the right, I was in the right position. I wasn't
Oh yeah.
standing straight up, The
Yeah.
ski was tips were out.
There you go.
So,
You were ready. Just
but
not the seaweed wasn't helping.
yeah, never didn't go back out and try it again after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 3. What's your number 2 coolest thing you ever did on the Finger Lakes?
Having fun on the lake in the middle of winter. In the middle of winter. I mean, in New York State, that sounds about impossible, but with the right equipment, it can be a blast. And the next door neighbors to my grandfather's cottage on Canandaigua happened to own dirt bikes with spiked tires.
Yeah.
It was awesome that the lake had froze hard enough to run the bikes on the ice.
Yeah.
And so we had ropes, and we had, those aluminum round flying saucer. We used to call them flying saucers.
Yeah.
And you go down, you'd sit on it, go down a hill in the snow.
Yeah, back when they made them out of aluminum and not plastic.
Yeah, they were made out of aluminum. And so we used to, what we would do is we'd ride sitting on the saucer and you had to hold on really, really tight because we were being whipped around by the bikes.
Right.
We had a rope that went to the bike.
Yeah.
And then we were just sitting there on it with our legs crossed and hanging on to the handles.
Yeah.
And
ask Carrie about pulling us kids around out in Colorado, not on the lake, but we were on a toboggan or whatever.
Oh my God.
And he'd be on his mini bike or his motorcycle pulling through the snow, making us stand up, try to surf and.
Oh, really?
Carry the bully.
But those people, like I told you, they're I can't remember their first names, but the family's last name was Darling, and they were so much fun. They would take us out onto the ice. Oh my God, we'd be flying. Yeah. And then they'd slow down and just do a big sweeping turn. And the bike's here and you're like way out over here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it was a bumpy ass ride, but good Lord, it was fun.
It's funny you were talking about winter on the lake because my number 2 coolest thing is you took my sister and I down to Kershaw Park and we ice skated on the lake.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And you were talking about how shallow it was, and the ice was so clear you could see all the way to the bottom.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was real cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I imagine we probably went out a little ways. I mean, it had to be good solid ice.
Yeah, I mean, you went out and checked it and stuff before you let us go.
Yeah, right. Because if it could hold me, it's certainly going to hold you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. There was always people skating down there, and if you took a ride down on a Sunday morning, you could sit there and watch, and you would see some amazing skaters. It was very cool. It was a lot of fun to watch them. And then I'd see, as I was driving along, I'd go over to the city pier. And, when you were on the city, at the end of the city pier, you could see the Indian Island, whatever you called, whatever the name was again. Skano. You could see Skano Island. And you could see people ice skating out there and skating around it. And yeah. it was fun times down there. You just had to be able to handle the cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very neat. You had to be willing to take advantage of the cold for what you could get out of it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. What is your number one coolest thing you ever did on the Finger Lakes?
Actually, the coolest thing was just when I had my permit, and just like on a Sunday when the family was together, we just all pile up in the boat, and I would just take them. They let me do all the driving, so they could just hang out and look and talk about stuff. And to me, that was awesome, because I was able to take everybody for a ride. And when I say for a ride, I mean we were out there for a while. You know, we had 2 full fuel tanks, and so yeah, where we were beyond halfway. We were well beyond halfway on the east side of Canandaigua Lake. Our cottage back then was in an area called Cottage City, because there was just all these. They were all small cottages.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were in amongst all that, and there was lots of boats, docks with all kinds of boats on them, and it was just a fun time, you know, being that young. And I was just I was feeling real good about it. It was just a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, just go cruising, because everything else you did with your friends, you know, like the water skiing part of that and all that, you know, you're just out there raising hell to a certain extent without being stupid.
I thought you were going to have a few crazy stories like the one I'm about to say.
No, nothing. Nothing got real crazy.
My number one is me and a few friends rowboated and canoed out to Skano Island.
Okay.
And we were camping out. Back then, you could do that.
Uh-huh.
And we got bored. It's a small island.
Right.
And so we decided to paddle down towards Roseland. And Roseland was closed. So we were like, let's just go into Roseland and just walk around and shit. So we're at Roseland Park at like 2 o'clock in the morning, just walking around. We didn't do anything. We didn't turn anything on. We didn't break into anything. We didn't steal anything. Right. We were just walking around. It was just kind of cool being there when nobody else was there.
And you didn't want to go to jail.
Well, we probably would have if somebody saw us there. But like I said, we weren't doing anything stupid. But yeah, that had to be one of the coolest things I did on the lake. Like I said, I don't have that many lake stories because I didn't spend a lot of time on the lake, you know?
Yeah, the opportunities weren't really there much.
But yeah, camping on the island, and I think we even had a campfire out there. I can't imagine you're allowed to do that anymore, but back then it was completely legal.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
I actually somehow, some way, I think for some reason, I think the island is much bigger than it used to be. That's what I came across. Either your mom came across something and showed me, and I was like, shit. I remember when the island was really small.
Yeah, you know? It wasn't very big.
It wasn't very big to begin with, but the last time
I mean,
I
don't know what it was like back in the day, but you know.
It was big, and you know, did you ever hear the story of why that basically it translated to Squaw Island?
Well, during war or fighting,
the an American
women and children out there.
I can't remember if it was there was a battle fought on we're 5-20. 5-20. That ran outside of town, and it went up what was called Arsenal Hill, and the Americans were coming in. They were going to have a fight with the British. And it's all a little bit vague to me, but they did have a pretty good battle.
Yeah.
But the Indians, because the Indians had sided with the British, of all the crazy things, the whole Seneca Nation, as far as I know, sided with the British. And that's a lot of tribes. And that covers a huge area of New York State. So they really got their tails kicked, unfortunately. But that's why they took all the women and children out there and put them on the island, because they didn't want them getting killed. And yep. So there was some fighting going on there for about 4 or 5 days before it all, everybody went their opposite ways.
Yeah.
And then the Indians could go back to, the Indians that were still alive could go back to what was left.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Danny, we better wrap this thing up.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I like talking about that. Those old summer fun things to do, and things that were a little out of the normal.
Yeah.
Having a lake like that and being able to take advantage of it once in a while, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very nice.
Like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time on the lake, but got a few stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we'll wrap this one up and call it an episode. I haven't had my dinner yet, and I'm about starving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Been out doing
you're ready
work all day.
Oh, okay.
Tinkering around the garage. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, whatever you do. I am the Kid.
And I'm Dan Lee.
We'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Wow.